Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is your country cousin Billy Grantham filling in for Winston Chester. He's off on special assignment. Bringing the program to you this morning on a Monday morning. How about that weather this last weekend right here? How about that? Your weather is brought to you by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. The high temperature today is going to be 88 degrees, just a little bit better than what it's been, a low of 74. Water temperature is 87.2. Winds out of the northeast at about 5 miles an hour. We're going to start seeing a marked improvement. Your river reading at Blountstown, brought to you by Mountain Dew. Take it outside, as they say, for Mountain Dew. I enjoy it myself. The Blountstown river reading is down just a little bit to below a foot. When I lived in Blountstown, that was a common thing to know what that river's doing, so you know what your game plan is about your fishing for the future. Also at Choctawhatchee, it's the same way, down low. Good thing to pay attention now is where all those snags and stumps are while that river's down, because it's going to get back up. We don't want you hitting something out there. We're going to take this first break. We'll come back to you in just a few minutes. All right, I missed the tides a while ago, and that's so important. It is to me if I'm going to be down here, is the tide is ripping real good. It was high at 4:08 this morning, and the low tide is at 4:09 this evening, dropping out, but it's going to be moving real good at about a 4.5, about a foot and a half range in there, I believe. And boy, I wished I could be out there on that this morning, going out, because they'll flat show be biting. I'll assure you of that. What I want to talk to you about, that also is brought to you by Kent Forest Lawn right here in Panama City. What I want to talk about you just a little bit before I start showing you some pictures is, you remember what Captain Roy said some months back when he was on here with Winston. Was a little bit what he talked about was, Winston asked him when was the most favorite time of the year for him to do some fishing. And he said May. Well, that's some time away now, but he said October. It's coming up on us real quick. So you might remember as well what I said, what the definition of luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Start getting your things together. It's been too hot. You ain't been going out there. You've been working on your house or somebody else's stuff. You can get your boat ready, get your braided line on there, get everything rigged out, because now that October's coming on and this weather's starting to transition and change, you done seen a little taste of that already now. You're starting to feel it. You need to get excited about it and get ready if you're going to get out there and do some of it. Same thing applies for hunting season. I have been preparing myself for the hunting season up in Jackson County, the east side. Y'all see my Sneed's Pirate stuff on. Lots of pride. My daughter teaches school there at the Sneed's High School, so a shout out to Ashley this morning. Also, as I was saying, making preparation for the hunting season. Did you know that hunting season is already in for some things? I'm going to show you some pictures a little bit later on of some game that's been already recovered this year, that's been taken. Bird season is in. Mooring hen. My friend Scott Gosnell that works at the Supervisor of Elections office there in Jackson County began to tell me more about that he done mooring hen hunting, and that season come in September the 1st. Guess what? You get out there on your kayak, work around the edges of some of that stuff on Lake Seminole up there, and take that. I was shocked and surprised. He said they're good to eat. Never had none of them, but he showed me some of that, talked about it. Perhaps down the road, if I don't go get my own, he is going to share a little bit with me. A little bit of bacon around it. Everything's better with bacon on it, amen? But fishing is fixing to get a lot better. As Winston says, from time to time, things are fixing to get right. Even though that river reading is down, there's still an opportunity to get out there and do some fishing because it's going to feel better to get out there and do that. So make some preparation now to get things in gear for that. One thing that I've done on my property in East Jackson County is I've been planting even back right before the rain. I finally got some the other day. I don't know about y'all, but I finally got some rain the other day, and it worked on my food plot. I already had iron clay peas out. I already had a feeder with my corn being thrown on a regular basis ahead of time. And guess what? Something else the deer like an awful lot of. They like sunflowers. I don't mean the sunflower seed, but like you go up to Walmart, you can buy that big bag of black sunflower seed. Broadcast that stuff and break it in, and when it gets up about yay high and starts heading up, let me tell you what, them hammer knockers will come in there and cut it down. Just like they done my iron clay peas, cut the tops off of them, but they're coming on back again. We should start getting a little bit of rain perhaps later on, and it'll make things germinate and take off. It'll all do good until the frost hits it. Then you transition over into a wintertime food plot. So making preparation for that as well. Always thinking. Remember what I said now, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. You got to plan ahead now to make it happen later on. Sometimes it just stumbles in the middle of things the deer do, and you make a good kill. Sometimes with the fishing the same way. Let me tell you what I done the other day. Chris and I, my son-in-law, come down here and put in at Callaway at the boat ramp there. I can't remember the park name, but I never fished in that Callaway Bay, but we got off on the point out there in the channel some. And I reached up and got a rod that had a swim bait on it that was about 2.5 months old from sitting out in that sunshine and that wind and blowing. It done got sticky and gummy. You know what I'm talking about, was something you'd peel right off. Well, when I picked it up, I already had it undone before I realized it. I throwed it out there anyhow. Guess what? Them scoundrels hit it still just the same. They hit it the same way. As good as a brand new plastic I put on there. I didn't throw it long and I changed it up, but I caught some trout on it. No stinkum on it, no fish smell on it, just an old gummy, sticky lure with about a 1/8 ounce jig head on it and a popping cork. Caught some trout. Get ready, it's fixing to get right. And we're going to come back to you in just a minute after this break. All right, when I watch the program, I enjoy watching somebody catching fish. And I'm going to show you some stuff here. East Bay, this right here, will be right behind Tyndall. I'm fishing right there with me and Chris. With a popping cork wind was blowing us. We were drifting, as they all like to say, pushing us along real slow and throwing out ahead of the drift. And that cork sunk, let me tell you what, woo, I enjoy that right there. There's no sound on it, but if you could hear what I was saying right there, I was talking some serious smack about that and him pulling hard. He was winning the war, as we say right there. The old rod is loaded up. See him coming in there? Look here, folks. October's coming. The weather's getting better. Them redfish are going to go bonkers. That's what I said to them right there. All right. Look here. Me and Matthew and Chris went out to Louisiana the other day. I thought about getting one of these tattoos. I dared my wife that I might get a tattoo of a ruler on the side of my leg so I could measure up all right. What y'all think about that? I don't know. My wife probably won't put up with it, or my pastor. I don't know. Son-in-law, my son rather, oldest son, Alex, off out in Mississippi months back, wore out the speckled perch. Wore them out, him and a friend of his, out in Mississippi. That ain't local. We like to hear about them local fishing holes, but I think you like the pictures anyhow, right? Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it right there. Big smile on Alex, the drill bit Baxley, I like to call him. All right, Matthew on the front of the boat in Louisiana. For y'all that's been out there, Lake Bourne, and it ain't no lake, folks. It's nothing but a part of the Gulf of Mexico with a marsh. Loaded pole. See if you like this. This is buckshot on the front of the boat. I had been wearing them out on the back, him and Chris up on the front. He finally got one hooked, a smaller one right there. Paid a guide to take us, and he caught one, and he was tickled with it. He was saying it was about time. But later on, we wore them out. We caught our limit of redfish, and we enjoyed it. And you'll see right here the limit right there. That was the first day we were out there. We used popping cork with a leader about that long. Usually I've got something about that long, about at least 2 foot on it. He had one, I'll bet you it wasn't a foot off the cork. Shrimp, live shrimp, pitching it up there next to the grass in the bank. You could almost think you were squirrel hunting, throwing that thing up there, and the cork would sink, we'd wear it out. Look at there, look at there. Whew. Make you feel good about that. Man, Buckshot was proud. He's always gonna eat up all the airtime, showing off everything. And look at him. That's the second day. That's the second day. The other was the first day. This is the second day, him showing off something. I don't know that he caught anything that big. I think I caught all the big ones. But look at there. Even picked up a couple of sheephead right out of nowhere. Limited out. Bunch of redfish. Got them filleted up. Went back home. Fried them rascals up with some cheese grits and hush puppies and some of them bread and butter pickles. I've told you about that stuff, all right? That's going out there. It's fixing to happen right here in East Bay, right there in West Bay. Get out there and try some of it. But you got to get your stuff rigged up and get it all together now, because first thing you know, somebody's going to say, have you heard? They tearing it up out there at the West Bay, or they tearing it up out there in the Bay. Oh man, I got to get my, it's too late. It's too late, folks. Get going right now and enjoy it. The same thing with hunting season. Get prepared, get wound up. I know I am, and I've told you a little bit about that. We're gonna talk about hunting season, and I'm gonna show you some deer hunting pictures in a minute. It's the same way up at Appalachian Management Area. Appalachian Management Area, almost nearly 10,000 acres of pristine, wooded, rolling hills up there. Up until last year when the hurricane hit, they had killed more bucks in there than they'd ever killed before. Probably over 70 inside that management area. I'm gonna show you some pictures in a minute when Jeff and I get me back rigged up after another break here in just a second. We're gonna get you hooked back up again. Come right back to you in just a few minutes, all right? All right, we're back again. I'm gonna find you some pictures right here in just a second. And I think you'll enjoy them if I can get it pulled up. I'm like Winston here, y'all. Give me just a second to get this found. Here we go. Here we go. All right. My son-in-law, Chris Pavick. I may have shown y'all that picture before. This picture is, buck was taken on my property about 2 years ago, coming in there, the cold spell. Remember now, when you're hunting out there and it gets cold, it ain't time to lay up in the bed if you want to kill a deer. When that cold snap comes in there in December, when he first started getting that really cold weather, you got to be out there early in the morning. You ain't got to be there right at daybreak. You ain't got to be there an hour before that, but get off out there and sit down and be there. And Lord, I lost it again, Jeff. That's all right, we're gonna find it. Now, this buck here was taken by my oldest son, Alex. Notice that left hind leg right there is broken off and it's healed up. That just goes to show you how good they can survive something. I don't know how he got injured, but right there is his horns. Look at that right side of those horns. How it didn't grow out and didn't make on that. That was the opposite side of the injury. That's the way it's always done that way. Just keep that in mind. That buck had a little bit of lack of growth on that right side, and that left leg was not as strong as the other side as well. But he harvested nevertheless because he could barely walk. Could have been shot, the leg could have been hit by a car, I don't know. Look at him. That buck right there was taken in Jackson County. That is a Matthew buckshot. That scoundrel can walk up on the woods and walk up on them right there. That's the buck that he killed this last season. Matthew was sitting in his ladder after the hurricane, now mind you, goes back in there and sets it all back up, finds another tree and gets on it. Does come in and he shot with a bow and missed the doe. He missed the doe. But you know what he done? He just stayed put. He just stayed put. He re-knocked another arrow and got ready. And in about 20 or 30 minutes, Mr. Man come in there. This time, schwack, he put it on him and knocked him down. Just got him mounted and loaded up. He's on the big wall at the house now. After a big rain in May, heavy rain in May, and it quit, these crawfish were blown out of a pond back up on higher ground and washed out to gather them up. That's good trot line bait right there, folks. I don't know what nobody tells you. That's what they are. Wild Bill Barnes, right here, hunts up there at the management area, catfishing on Apalachicola River. When I asked him, I said, Bill, tell me something about where you got them at. He said, betwixt the Jim Woodruff Dam and the Apalachicola. He wouldn't tell me where. There's another one right there. Bill Barnes. Look at there. There's my food plot. Just to give you a little idea of what it ain't gonna take much. Just put it out there to get them does coming in there. And when them does are coming in there, guess what he's gonna do in twixt December and January? She's gonna show up. This here is Scott Gosnell. He's on Lake Seminole. This is this year, folks. He's already preparing for hunting. I know what you said, it's too hot. No, it ain't. It's time to hunt and fish. Scott's going out there fixing to shoot some mooring hens. And guess what he done? He shot some. He loaded up on them. And he come back and he plucked them and he dressed them and he got that breast out of them. And what do you think he done? He seasoned them and he put a little bit of bacon on them. And what did he think he did with them? He put them on the grill. Look at him. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Get yourself ready. That's just an old gopher hole there at the house. That right there, folks, is just a small thing to you. Don't mean very much. But that's iron clay peas. They done been chewed off one time and they done come back again. The deer have worked them over real hard. How much time we got, Jeff?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. I think I can ramble 3 minutes about that. Appalachian Management Area. They've done some repair work in there, cutting timber and harvesting some timber that got blowed down. There's some areas that you can't walk through. It's just all laying on the ground. Y'all know what I'm talking about around here, what a hurricane can do to your hunting lease and what have you. But you got to go out there and kind of push you back a spot. Them deers, guess what? They didn't get hunted last year very much. Them some guns is gonna be bigger and better all the time. That's an Appalachian Management buck right there. Buck was shot, but I didn't find him till the next year. Went back in there to put the ladder back up at the spot, and guess what? the old buzzards and stuff and the coyotes that done got to him and drug him off out there, and there he lay, the old buck. Appalachian Management Area and all around those areas up there, folks are making preparation to hunt, and you should too. Not necessarily with your food plot, if that's what you can get out there and do and you got time to do it. But those bucks have got to pass and got a year older, and they're going to be bigger and better, like the World's Fair this year coming up. I promise you, you get back, if you can get back in your lease again or back on your property, you're going to see some better deer this year coming up. And the laws have changed, the rules have changed. You can only harvest, I think, 5. They'll be on here, the game warden will be on here pretty soon talking about all that and the details about it. But I think it's better than what it was before, because at my household, there's me and buckshot there. That's 10 deer. Who needs more than that in the freezer? I ain't a grocery store, but I don't mind giving it to somebody from time to time and sharing it with folks, but you don't need more than that. Some of y'all gonna disagree with me, but guess what? You're not gonna be disappointed, because in a couple of years, the bucks are gonna get bigger and better, because you're gonna let some of them walk. Sitting up in there, I'm not gonna shoot him because I ain't got but 1 or 2 more. Now, you're gonna let him walk, and he's gonna get bigger, and he's gonna get, and you're gonna get happier and prouder, and left to show him off, because he's gonna have some mass on there. All right? Fishing. Get your boat ready, get your rig ready, get yourself ready, and take somebody with you. I think you'll enjoy it a whole lot. But I'm gonna leave you for now and bring Winston back to you in a few days. Y'all have a happy Monday morning and enjoy yourself, and go support some high school football out there. We enjoy it all the time. All right, Jeff, it's good to see you. Good to see y'all again. God bless you, and get out there and do some fishing.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.